Hello and welcome to steer rope instructional video number 3. You've got a couple of runs here of the practice session we had the other day. Mainly this video is going to be about equipment. But as we take a look at these two runs here, Jake's doing a really good job roping the horns good and sharp and good and snappy. And I believe on this second video, he didn't get quite as good of a fall as I would like to have had on this cow. Not quite as good of a go for his horse, but he did a good job tying this cow. And now we're going to move into equipment and talk a little bit more about equipment. All right, go ahead.
Hey, this is Jacob Walters. We've had several people asking questions kind of about what kind of ropes and strings and equipment and things like that we use, and kind of start with basic. You got your trip and saddle, pretty flat cantle, saddle pads, boots, protect our horses. They worked hard for us. So, but anyway, what I usually like to use is a 3-strand king, about a 10-5. Make sure it's poly. Being a calf roper that switches to steer open, I like something to have a little bit, pretty good bit of body, a lot of snap. You get anything smaller than a 10-5, you'll run into problems with, popping the eye, breaking ropes, throwing bad spots in, and things like that. So, this is what I tend to have had pretty decent success with. It's pretty easy to take care of, so that's kind of what I use. And then as far as strings go, I've got a couple different options here. This is a Willard. It's a full 5/16. It's a medium, pretty big and pretty stiff. Like I say, being a calf roper and moving across, I like something with a little body, something that's going to make it feel like it's running for me. Something I like. I like that a lot. Something that pops a little bit. Rattler makes a really good string too. They run just a hair smaller. This is a medium soft. I've had pretty decent success with these as well. Like I say, especially coming from calf roping, for me, it's been trying to keep things good and snappy. You can find them nearly anywhere. I like to order from Cool Horse. They're about the best in the biz about getting you stuff quickly, as quickly as they can.
And your strings are 2-strand?
Yes, sir. They're 2-strand strings. Lots of bite. You can suck them down tighter, I feel like. Rattler makes a 3-strand string, but they only make it in a soft. It's a little bit limber for me, but like I say, that's all kind of personal preference. What works for me might not work for you. Like I say, these are Willard and Rattler. Lyle's makes a really good string too. Like I say, it's all just kind of personal preference. But for anyone, especially that's coming from calf roping across, I recommend something with a little snap and a little body. And like I say, King makes a really good 3-strand rope. A lot of those deals, a lot of rope companies make a 4-strand rope too, but I haven't had a lot of success with those. They kind of tend to let bad spots come in. They stretch just a little bit. Just get a little dead, and 3-strands seem to hold up a little better, a little stouter. And then, so we're going to talk a little bit about your jerk line and your setup right here. So like I say, you got pretty big, thick cotton rope, something with plenty of drag. That's kind of what I like. So you're going to run it through a little ring right here against your D-ring, and it's going to run up the side of the fender of your saddle. You can run it across your horse's neck. You can go down the right side, tie it to the bit, or you can just run it straight down the left side. It just kind of depends on how your horse reacts to it. But once you get it run through the ring, you're going to tie a little slip knot in it right here, so that especially if your horse is pretty light, it's not just dragging on the ground, pulling on your horse's head. You pull a slip knot out. That way, when you bump it, it'll just pop loose like that, and you can bump like so. And then, as far as the length goes, it's all kind of dependent on what your horse needs and how exactly you like to do it. I like mine to go down, just a little past halfway. Down to the steer's head. That way I can be bumping from here or all the way out down here if I need to. So you pull your slip knot loose, and I can bump however I need to. And it's all owing to how long you cut your rope and everything too. But like I say, it's all kind of personal preference and figuring out what your horse needs, and adjusting and going from there.
We're taking a look at this cantle on this Wayne Cates saddle. It measures about 2 3/4 inches. You want the cantle as low as possible to keep from putting as much pressure on the horse's back and kidneys. Then as we go to the swells, you want the point of pull. You want you be able to put your rope as low to the horse as possible, in the swells as close to the horse as possible, without actually putting pressure and impinging the horse's withers. We'll finish this video up with a couple of runs from the college rodeo at Big Spring, Texas this weekend. This is a run Jack made in the first round. Made a pretty good run, drew a really good cow. Tie could have been a little bit smoother, but 1 second in the round was run, and all in all, it was pretty good. As always, if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out, and hope you enjoyed the video.